Hello, friends. Good morning, Cindy. How do you do today? Do you get a sound coming? Listeners on YouTube, can you hear the voice coming from here? I should be very happy to see a signal from you. Very, very good. Very good, Cindy. How do you do today? How is your week so far? Are there any questions on your mind that you would like to ask? Hello, Abigail. Hello, Dodi, here on YouTube. I would like today to start with the notion of Cain and the notion of Abel inside of us. You feel better? Yes, very good. The weather is maybe better or there's a relief a bit. Very good, very good. I'm very happy to hear that you have a relief. Thank you. Today I would like to start with the two notions in us, the notion of Cain and the notion of Abel in us. Hello, Abigail. Good morning. How do you do today? What is the notion of Cain and what is the notion of Abel? Cain is the notion of cognition, of knowing, of thinking, of personal doership. The actor on stage when the all spotlights at him. The Abel is the sound of intuition. Did we understood it? Because in us there's like a running gag all the time, Cain, Abel, Cain, Abel, Cain, Abel. Cain is the mechanical. We don't have almost control on it, and it comes with the ability to think. And Abel is the voice of the intuition. Abel, Hevel, Abel. Yes. Halev, the heart. It's the same letters in Hebrew. Abel and Halev, the heart. The heart is the voice of intuition. Good morning, Erin. How do you do? Very happy to see you here today. The heart. So Abel is the voice of the intuition or the voice of the heart. Abel in Hebrew, Hey, Bet, Lamed is the letters of the heart, Halev. So Abel is the sound of the heart or the sound of the intuition within. And Cain inside is the cognition, the thinking, the mechanical thinking. What computers, yes, that they are doing, they are calculating all the time. So like computers, we have this mechanical, yes, ability. Do we understand that the ability to think is a mechanical activity? Do we understand that? Good, good. So the mechanical thinking is running all the time. And this is the broadcast that we get. I'm the doer, I have to do such and such. I accomplished such and such goals. This is the kind speech, the personal doership, the claimer. Yes, the claimer. The voice of Cain and the voice of Cain in us always claim that he owns everything, that he knows everything, that he is targeted. And the voice of Abel inside of ourselves is a silent voice, very, very silent. But it's firm and very soft. Now, questions about the notion of Cain and Abel in us? Usually we don't listen to the voice of Abel, to the voice of the intuition, to the voice of the heart. Most of the residents of the planet, they listening to the mechanical thinking voice of Cain. People appreciate mechanical happening and mechanical doership. This is how the world is working. This is how the world is working, mechanically, without us even interfering. We could say, in another way, that the voice of Cain in us is the voice of the ego. Yes? The voice of the identity. Yes? If we have a sense of identity, is the voice of Cain. And the voice of the identity always knows where we come from, where we were born, to which language, to which culture. Yes, and yapping all the time. Yes, that he knows. This is the voice of Cain within. Cain knows his identity. And whatever is connected to Cain within has to do with, how do you say this in English? With two actions. Yes. Yes, Cindy, you can unmute yourself. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can. How do you do today?
Very good, thank you. I hope all of you are good too. Sorry, I just ran upstairs, so I'm a little bit out of breath.
It's okay.
But I have a question, Eddie,
Yes.
about, so yesterday, I was working in my yard and got out of breath and got a big headache.
Mm-hmm.
And so, well, it's not the place I live, it's just a place I have, and I work at the place anyway, place, but I was sitting down resting and kind of meditating too, but this, not an audible voice, but a word came and said, there's somebody coming. And I kind of sort of questioned that. It just was all in my spirit, sort of like, oh no, like, and it said basically kind of like, you can disobey, or you can, like, not really disobey, it's like you cannot listen, or you can get up now because somebody is coming. And I just got up and turned around, and there was a man coming down the driveway. Like I said, this is an empty place, and I just wasn't even surprised because I believed in that moment. I believed, and so I just turned around and expected someone to be there, and he was really startled and kind of ran off. But anyway, is that possibly what you're saying about the voice of Abel? Would you say maybe it was strange?
Can
It
you
wasn't
can
like it
you
was
can you
apparent. I
repeat?
couldn't even
Uh,
see.
yes, Cindy, can you repeat, because I heard you were working in the garden or in the yard, or yes, or in a yes, because
Yeah, yeah, I was working on in the yard and in the garden on the property that I have. It's a it's a rental, so it's a short-term rental like Airbnb. So
yes, yes.
nobody was there at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was empty at this time, but I was working, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
in the garden and in the yard.
And then you just took a rest for a while. Yes.
and sat down with my back toward the driveway, like if that makes sense, where someone
Yes.
would come in or walk or
So
whatever.
you
Yeah.
were sitting with the
Mm.
back to the way of somebody could come in, yes, with the back, and then you heard,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
and what did you hear?
Um, someone is come basically just it wasn't words, it was like this idea, like so someone's coming
Yes, there's
and no
notification.
one should have come.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So you were hearing, no, here
And
we call it hearing in brackets, but there was a notion inside of you that was telling you silently someone is coming. Yes, behind.
yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
This is it. This is it.
Hmm.
This is it. Yes, yes, yes. This is it.
Okay, thank you. Just had
Mo-
that kind of question, like if that
yes,
may
this
have
is
been
it.
it.
Yes, this is it. This is it. Always like protective and suggestive and very, very soft, but always there, always there. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Cindy. It's a beautiful story. Yes. Yes. The sound of crying in us is like the sound of beating. Yes, you have to perform, you have to go there, you have to be there on time and so on. Agenda from west to east, from south to north, full of agenda. You could be better, you have to perform, you have to play basketball, you have to be Olympic champion, whatever. Yes, this is the sound of Cain within, the sound of the achiever. Yes, there's always like action, the action figure within. And the sound of Abel, this is the sound of the intuition, very quiet. It has an infinite way to communicate, but very softly and loving. Very softly and loving. Yes? Never push, never command. Yes. 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 It is interesting, Cindy, because it kind of leaves me feeling empty, while the notion of the intuition or the notion with Abel starts with emptiness, but it fills us with love and care. It is interesting. Yes. It's quite interesting. Yes. It is I was sitting today in front of the window. It's like spring and there's like little plant there outside, the chaflera. And the wind was coming and just you look, yes, basically doing nothing. It just the wind is coming softly and then it's nothing because you don't read and you don't. I was not reading or doing anything, and then from nothingness comes something soft and suggestive. Maybe you will listen to this and that, to this and that. Yes, because usually we are being whacked in the head this kind speech. Yes, you should do this now, you should operate or make a progress with a book or something, and suddenly you sit in front of the window, there's air, so maybe you'll listen to such and such, there's a bird there out there, she's singing. And this is unconditional in a way. Yes, yes. There's always messages and mysteries from Abel. Yesterday I was sitting also and I thought, maybe, I don't know what. And then came a line, like a chorus. So I typed it in the browser, and then I walked, did something else, came another line, and I typed it, and suddenly there was a poem, and I did not knew 1 second before that it would come. It just that suddenly I heard words, I call it hearing, yes, but it's in silence, and I typed it, and I said, "What now?" And or even no, I didn't. I just typed it, stood up, walked somewhere, and then when I walked from the PC, I heard a continuous chorus or line or words, and I returned and I typed them, and there was a poem. Yes, this is how some people might not consider it or think it's nothing. People appreciate a new car, a new refrigerator, a flight ticket to Bahama. Yes, a new outfit. I don't know. Yes, yes. It is always new because the mechanical is doing its mechanics, but it is always like this. It is always like this. I remember once we were in Vienna, walking in one of the quarters, and then came to me a name, like an Austrian name. And I said, well, what is this name coming into my mind? Continued to walk a few more steps, the road or the way, and then there was a place with a name that was a few minutes before, like making itself a sound in my mind. Yes, just suggestive. The name was repeating. Ta 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 ta. Where does it come from? Where are we? What is this name? And suddenly, tuck tuck, we continued, and then we saw the name of the place. We did not even aim to go there, or plan to go there, or we did not even know that this place was even there, or the name. Just, is this intuition. This I call it she. Yes, now it's Eva. She sheep. Yes, this intuition likes emptiness. Yes, likes emptiness, and whenever, because there's space in emptiness. Whenever there's a space and emptiness, there's like a seat, an open seat, and it can come and dwell like a bird in the nest. While the kind, please pay attention also to the relation between kind, mechanical, cognition, please, is always there's a sense of there is something. There's a sense of knowing, there is a sense of doing, yes, going somewhere, getting something. Yes, there is a sense of identity, of personality, yes, of character, yes, all of those things that we consider as distinct and clear, and they have a certain appearance, yes. And the able is something almost unnoticeable. And this communication with this intuition or this able within is never under a threat or, how do you say, not threat and not stress, never pushes us to decide to do things, never, 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 never. Because it's like being. Like a bird on a branch of a tree, just being there. So there is a sense, it's very interesting because what people are doing, we are usually booking vacation to have a sense of freedom or space from work or from intense life. So people usually work, very intensively, and then they book a vacation. And to book a vacation, it's a stress by itself, to take an airplane, to take a boat, to take a train, to go somewhere, to log. Yes. And then they feel or they think that in the new place they will have like peace. Yes, because only in this realm there's peace. But and this arriving to the place of vacation engages a lot of doing actions, talking, communications, writing, confirming, and so. And you need to be on time for the train, and you have to book the right flight or have connections. So there's a lot of mechanicals of packing, unpacking, bringing, and so. But to be in those moments with communication with, I don't know, we call it with spirit, intuition, able, it has many names, divinity, is not demanding or asking for anything. It's not, it doesn't need any condition. Yes, and transcendence. The place inside is full of peace and excitement and transcendent, and it's unconditional. We don't need to arrive to an airport to experience because why people book vacation? They want to relief from the current moment. Yes, from work, from the children, from somewhere, from their boss, or from the season. But because they basically, or people want basically relief from this mechanical happening. But we don't need to book a vacation or to go somewhere, because it is happening inside if we just enable. We stop the mechanical that I should and I have to, yes. And it is always there. It is always there. Also the speech comes from there. We don't decide in advance what we're going to speak. Yes, it is always there, unconditional. And if we pay attention, people can pass away, or people are, so to speak, are being born or passing away, but the speech, the language never stops. The communication never stops. Yes, because it is not personal happening. The ability to speak, this is the characterization of the spirit. The ability to communicate, to unite, this is always there. So if people, or seemingly, because there is no birth really, and there is no passing away, just appearance and disappearance, but people tend still to capture it as birth and death. So when there's seemingly a death or passing away, the language, the communication, love never stops. Yes, the body is something which is appearing, so to speak, in birth and disappearing, yes, while passing away. I mean, the spirit moves on and the body is just lay on the ground like a dropped t-shirt before it goes to laundry. But love never stops. Air, breathing, nothing is always there. Yes? So when the body, so to speak, ceased to exist because spirit just went out, nothing is gone. Nothing is lost. Yes? Nothing is gone and nothing is lost. We have still the cognition, the thinking, the mechanical thinking or conviction that usually people appreciate more birth. When there's a birth of a baby, in most of the cultures, there's like parties, blessing, people are coming, celebrating, making like shower parties before and after, bringing presents, having speeches, playing music. There's a big happening around the birth. because people appreciate the having of a body. This is something, so to speak, unbelievable, divine. From nothing, suddenly a mother holds a baby. Where does it come from? Nobody think about it, but there's a lot of appreciation of appearance of a body, and people celebrate it and appreciate it, and pay attention to it in all cultures. But what happens when this body of a baby grows to be person, life is moving on, there's a duration in time, and people are passing away? So the baby is accepted in the world, in the party, everybody's happy because baby is born and people are drinking and dancing and listening to music. But what happens when somebody is passing away or the body just stays? Suddenly people are crying for a loss. But it is opposite, because now the spirit is free. There are no conditions of time and space on the spirit. So again, just to show us how, in a way, in our cognition, we are relating to the birth as something so important and so happy, and we are relating to the passing away as a loss. Yes, because the spirit is not tangible anymore. Because if somebody is alive or the spirit is dressed in a body, we could point or speak to a person, yes, because there's a body, there's an address, there's a phone number, there's an email. But when the spirit is out there, yes, it is interesting. It is quite interesting. We just make V on a birth because it's something that we can measure, hold, yes? But to passing away, there is no relation. I mean, it's maybe people escort or come to the funeral, yes, or they cry, but very few people are happy or understand the meaning of passing away. That suddenly the spirit is free or unbound in a body or difficulties. Yes, there's a sense of freedom finally from the condition of space and time. And arrival and departure, yes, Cindy, that's good. What about the bodies that went away? Why did not separate from their bodies? What about the bodies that went away but did not separate? Yes. Yes. Yes, the Bible speaks about Elijah that, yes, he went up to the heavens in the carriage of fire. Yes. Yes, that everything was one, disappearing into the oneness, included into the one. Yes. Yes, Elijah is like that. Elijah, I would like to open this, the name Eliyahu. Elijah has the value of 52. Yes, like the value of the word sun. In English, sun is 52. Yes. But Elijah did not die like a body because he was united with the one. So, and the word even, stone, is not just a stone in English. Not just a stone in English, it means also Av, Father, and son. Ben. Father and son. It means there is no separation, no duality. Father and son together. There aren't any two. So stone in Hebrew is father and son, continuity. There is no two, father and son, cause and effect. There's only one. Yes? And therefore Elijah, which is 52 plus 1, 52 is Elijah, plus 1 the origin. Yeah? We have 53. Yeah? The value of stone. This is the value of stone, Even. Even. Stone. There is no separation. Therefore, there is no body left. And who knew this? Elisha, the student of Elijah. He knew because the other prophet says, where is he? Let's look in the valleys around. Maybe we shall find his body. And Elisha said, don't look for it. He's just not here. It's a completely unification. Yes? Unification with the one, there is no separation. You're welcome. You're welcome. There is in a way two speeches. Abraham, the sages are saying that Abraham was tested 10 times. Yes? The first time he was tested in the first speech to him, Lech lecha, off you go from your father's house, from your, yes, birthplace, yes, is the English word for a rock the same as stone in Hebrew? There is a Hebrew word for a rock which is Selah. Yes, this is a rock. Yes, yes, this is rock. And also there is another word, Tzur. And we could say that Selah is also, the rock is also stone. It is open. Yes? It is open, we could say that too. Yes. Tzur. So the first speech to Abraham was to leave the father's house. Lech lecha me'artzecha, from your country. Umimoladetecha, and from your birthplace. Yes? Umibet avicha, and from the house of your fathers, to the place that I'll show you. Yes, Yanis? Yes, I will explain that too. I will explain that. Yes. Thank you for the question. So the first speech to Abraham was to leave the country, yes, his homeland and the house of his father, to the place that I'll show you. Lech lecha mi bet avicha, from the house of your father. So, if Abraham was asked or suggested to leave the house of his father, it means that he was spoken as a son. He was spoken as a son. As a son he was spoken, so to speak. But after a while, when he came to the land of Canaan and Isaac was born, and Isaac was 37 as the age or as the value of Abel. Abel is 37. And also this is the age that Isaac was bound to Mount Moriah. Yes. So again, there is another speech to Abraham, but now, Lech lecha el eretz Moriah. Go to the land of Moriah. And this time, the speech, yes, for Abraham is as a father. Kach et bincha, take your son that you love, yes. Asher ahavta et Yitzchak. So now there is a speech to Abraham as a father regarding to his son. And Abraham takes the son and walks for the mountain and bind Isaac and bring the knife to slaughter and say, and then he understands, don't send your hand to the boy. So we have, in a way, in the beginning, Abraham is spoken as a son, so to speak, of his father. On Mount Moriah, or before the Mount Moriah, he is spoken as seemingly a father of Isaac, but he is none of these. He is not a son of his father, and he is not the father of Isaac. This is also why, while both speeches in Hebrew are opened with the words Lech lecha, walk from this notion that you are the son, yes, you are the son of the country, you are the son of your homeland, you are the son of your father. Walk of this notion, relieve yourself from those cognitions. And then, after 10 trials, you hear the same words, Lech lecha el eretz Moriah. Walk yourself, yes, to the land of Moriah. Moriah comes from Moreh. Moreh is a teacher. I will show you something there. That you are not just not a son of your father. You're also not the father of Isaac. You're neither of those. You're not a son and you're not a father. And here starts civilization. Because before Abraham we have only tribes. But civilizations, or how shall I call it in English? Impersonal. Yes? Impersonal doership or civilization starts with this notion that you are not the son and you're not the father. Questions so far? Now, to answer here Yannis' question regarding the 12 stones that Joshua placed while after crossing the Jordan, yes, those are, in a way, each one, yes, is symbolizing, yes, one tribe, which is one son, but 12 plus 1, the inclusive of all, yes, is the source. All 12 tribes, so to speak, are bound or connected to the source. So there is no, it's a symbolic act to say that there is no tribalism. Not every, though they're returning to the promised land, it doesn't mean that each tribe can consider itself as entity, but all of them are aligned together and bound to the source. Did you understand, Yanis? Good. It is very common to count, or we find many descriptions in the books that Abraham had to go through 10 lessons or 10 tests, yes, or 10 trials, and nobody explains what are the meaning. Everybody is counting them. Yes, they're counted in the books, in the laws, but there is no explanation like this. You will not find this in the books. Yes, indeed, where there are 10 plagues. Yes, yes, there were 10 plagues in Egypt before the Exodus. Yes, there were 10 plagues. That's correct. Yes, from blood to the firstborn, 10 plagues as well. Yes, that's correct. So the firstborn, who is the firstborn in the Bible? In Genesis, who is the firstborn? According to Genesis, yes. So the firstborn plague is against what in us? Yeah, 1 second. The 10th plague, yes. Yes, the firstborn in the Bible is Cain. And the Exodus mentions 10 plagues. When the 10th plague is what? What happens at midnight? The firstborn. Yes, yes. So what is the meaning of killing of the firstborn? What does it symbolize? Killing of what? Or muting what? What voice in us? Muting the sound of whom in us? What is the meaning of the firstborn plague? Yes, the personal doership. Yes. This is not historical event. It happened, but this is not, the Bible does not speak about the historical event. It's the book of being. The meaning of the 10th plague is to mute, yes, to cancel, so to speak, the voice of the firstborn. I'm the king, I have the land, nobody can step on the land, I'm the owner of the land, I'm the first son of Adam, of human, I deserve everything. Yes, this is what we think. This is a mechanical activity. Yes, yes. It's very difficult to perceive no personal doership. Yes, yeah, yes, yes. When we look and see all humanity, we cannot see all humanity in one glance, 8 billion people. But just in the mind, try to think about it. That now people are walking, drinking, driving, writing letters in offices. We cannot say that all humans' activities are personal. They are being done, so to speak, by bodies that have a name and address. But the ability of the body to act, to write, to sing, to walk, to climb stairs is not because somebody is commanding something, because we are in a way animated by higher power. Yes? So you can see John climbing the stairs, or you can see Jane reading a book, and you will write, I saw John climbing the stairs, I saw Jane reading a book. But still, the ability to read, to inhale, to climb the stairs is given to those two. So it seems to us like separate human beings with personal doership, but it's a how do you say, timed orchestra. Yes, we are being orchestrated. I don't know if there's a verb like this in English. Everything is timed by higher power. Because we cannot sense higher power. We are limited. We are very limited. We are finite being, and we're trying to catch or to grasp infinite, nominal energy in rest. Yes, or consciousness in rest. We cannot grasp it. But all of the actions of all human beings, animals, butterflies, fish, birds, trees are growing, the wheat is moving in the field, everything everything which we can imagine, yes, is coming from one source. We are learned, or we studied that there are different continents and different countries and different governments and different states, yes, and different airplanes, and everything is categorized, cut, yes. But this is because we are giving a lot of importance to the eyes, because the eye, the human eye, can see only linearly. So we see only in parts, but we cannot grasp the whole orchestra. So, yes, though we see single pictures, one single picture at a time, it's not separate as we capture it. Therefore, there isn't any personal doership. Just for example, make this experiment in the mind. Let's say there's a bread. We buy a loaf of bread in a bakery or in a supermarket, just to have an access to a bread. Yes, somebody put it on the shelf, but before putting it on the shelf, somebody baked it. But to bake a bread, we need to have yeast, we need to have water, we need to have the flour, yes, and the wheat has to grow for 10 months. And if they manage, if there was a good winter, let's say rains on time, the wheat came beautifully, somebody comes to the field and cuts the wheat, and then separating the seed from the rest of the stem, and then it goes to, how do you say, to mull, I don't know, to mill the seeds of wheat into flour, and the flour has to be filtered few times, and then it has to be boxed or put in different sacks, and then those sacks are being divided into personal or 1 kilo in Israel, let's say, packages, and had to be packaged, calculated, registered, to put in a truck, and the truck has to move it to the supermarket. And in some places, the wheat is not growing in the country that people are eating bread. In some places, the wheat or the flour is imported from abroad by ships, yes, or by airplanes, or by trains, or by trucks. It depends if they have continental relations. Sometimes the wheat has to cross waters or air until one loaf of bread reaches our table. So many people, and I just count the actions, and only 20% of the actions, yes, not putting the flour with water, with the yeast, with sometimes milk and taste and all kinds of things that they put in the bread. Just that one loaf of bread will arrive to one table. We didn't count the people, just the actions which are needed for so long time, 9 months or so, to prepare one loaf of bread. So many actions, so many people. Can we name the people who were involved in this planting the seed of wheat in the ground on time? The rain is to come to water the seed of wheat that will be rotten in the rains, and then under the snow, that in the spring the sun will come and burn the wheat, and then fly in June they will harvest the wheat, and then it has to be first to filter the seed from the stem and to be shipped to a mill station, and then it has to be milled or shipped or counted or what. We cannot count or mention the names of the people who participate. And those who participate in this one shipment or truck of flour to the supermarket, who makes the heart pulse, their lungs, their ability to move, to understand, to drive a truck, to filter the seed, to write a quantity. We cannot, there is no, if we look, this is only about a loaf of bread. Imagine plantations of apple, of avocado, of oranges. How many people are involved in one orange arriving to our table? A pack of olives, to grow olives. It's, if we think about just a little detail on our table, a pencil, how a pencil arrived at a desk. Now we're writing or we're drawing with colorful pencil, but how all the process started, how many people were involved. Can we say there's a personal doership? Someone, yes, is going to the forest, somebody is growing first, put a tree in the ground, or making sure that there will be trees later to timber, and there's a timbering coming and cutting. Part of it is going to furniture, other different parts are going to pencils and carpentry, and who knows? Can we say that there's a personal doer in all of this? No, of course not. This is just an exercise. Do you have any questions that you would like to ask, or something that you would like to share before we seal this conversation? And I would like to thank you for being with us today and participate in this beautiful conversation. And I wish you a very good season. And Cindy, I'm very happy that you feel better, and Abigail and Yanis. And see you soon? No, no, there isn't any. No, no, Abigail, don't worry. No. Thank you so much, and shalom, shalom, and see you on Saturday. Shalom, shalom.